Morning. I hope you're all doing well. Remember I said that I wanted a lathe. I now have a lathe. But I didn't buy it. I built it. There it is. It's not, well, it'll never be finished because it's one of those projects that's going to keep evolving the more I use it. I was going to oil it all and make it look pretty before I put it on camera, but here we are. I've got other stuff to do today. Yeah, bring in for a closer look. It's just kind of roughed together because, to be honest, well, this is why I didn't film it, because I didn't even know if it was going to work. You know, I've never had something like this before. I've definitely never made something like this before, making it up as I went along. But I looked on YouTube, as you do, and there's loads of videos about homemade lathes out of wood. But the problem with them is pretty much all of them are made out of like 20mm plywood, layered and stacked, and cut perfectly on a table saw, so it's all like dimensional and you can follow a plan and all of that sort of thing. Now, I can't do that because I don't have any of that sort of stuff. All I had was scraps and bits, so I just kind of didn't follow a plan. I got a picture of a lathe from Euler, just because they sell one. It's like 1600 or something. So it's not actually that expensive really in the grand scheme of things. Yeah, I just kind of looked at that, tried to see how that worked, and made something up. The only thing I've had to buy is the cheapest drill I could find, which was like 250 sec. So the whole thing's cost me about 20 quid, basically. I was either going to build something like this or an old style spring pole lathe. The reason I didn't build one of them is they're too big. That's what put me off. This is quite a small package really. Drill is mounted to this. That's the tail stock. It's just a rod going in, and then I've got like a butterfly screw which I've sharpened the points and also sharpened the end of the bolt. A couple of bearings in there so that spins nicely, and yeah, that's seeming to be holding on to the wood quite well. Maybe I'll have to improve it in the future, I don't know. And then for now, for the tail end, it's a static centre. I did kind of want to put a bearing on this end as well, because I think that'd be better, but for now it's static, just with again a sharpened point on this end. That's how it would have been on the old style if I'd have built one of them, but obviously this can spin faster, so maybe I'll have to come up with something better for that. Tool rest, this is probably going to need a bit of refining because I sort of ran out of ideas at this point, but I just got a wedge and it's adjustable, so I can, you know, depending on what I'm working on, can wind it right out like that, stick the wedge in wherever I need it. And it's sort of, it's wobbly this end, but when you're actually using it sort of like that, it sort of stays in place anyway, so whatever. The way that I've done it, I've made two rails on here and sort of cut a slot in the bottom, so I've done a groove into the actual baseboard that can hold the nut, and I'll show you in a sec. And then under these there's a channel that I've carved out for a washer. What's that on? And that's how this works. So this can obviously slide in and out, and it actually, although I do have to put a shim on that side to get it perfect, but doesn't matter. I just put a piece of cardboard in there. They line up pretty well, so that's good. I think that's the hardest part, getting them to line up. Yeah, this can slide in and out and it can lock here, and the way that I've done that is just with washers. So this is, they're flush with the bottom of it, Obviously this rides in that channel. This one's solid, that's kind of just a support for the front, and then for the back, this bolt, I've ground the end off so I can put a 6mm spanner on there, and then the nut, and all that does is pull against this washer, which presses up against these channels and locks it pretty tight. Actually, it doesn't move. So that slots in like that, and then obviously you do that up with a spanner, and well, to be fair, even by hand tight, that's pretty good. And that holds that in place. And that's basically it, really. So just I've glued a nylock nut into there so that I can put that up to the wood, and then use this to really tighten it, you know, refine it where it needs to be, which seems to be working okay. I've used it once, I made that, whatever it is. So yeah, shall I give you a quick demo? I know you want a demo. I've just got a piece of birch firewood. I've not tried birch in it yet, so it's a bit harder than the pine. We'll see how it goes. Oh, I need me shim. Where's it gone? Ah. My fancy shim. Slot that in there. Yeah, but the rounding didn't go that well. Kind of rushed it a bit, so it's a very strange shape, but we'll see if we can fix it. And then we tighten that down a bit. I've oiled that pin. That's pushing into there. Hopefully be okay. But I bought this drill specifically because it's got a little speed control thing. For now, I'm just using a clamp to hold that on, hold the trigger on, which is a bit silly, but it works, you know. Right, about there. Yeah, that should be okay. Put it here. For the time being, this is my trigger. So put that on there. Make sure we're good. I think we are. Take my time because it's a bit of a dodgy shape. Gotta go a bit faster. See this wobbling around a bit. I need to come up with a better solution for that. mean, it's working. You know, what more do you want from a flipping lathe? It's got one job. I'll try and get this round. It'll take a minute. Okay, that is now, apart from that flat bit there. Yeah, this doesn't work. Basically, that's what that means. So that's going to need a bit of refinement. I could put it in like that for now. Quite a messy ordeal. That's come loose now. So this is the thing, you need to remember to tighten it up as it works itself loose, which it will do. There's not much I can do about that really. Better. So I've got a selection of tools, all sorts. Just basically learn with them, see what happens. Pretty sure that's not how you're supposed to use that. I mean, it's just experimenting, basically. There you go. I mean, there wasn't really a purpose for me building it. You know, I didn't build it for something specific. I just wanted one, basically. I've always wanted one because I thought they looked cool and interesting, and they'll probably be good for making handles and things. But this is kind of why I didn't want to buy one, because I might never use it, you know. Bit of sanding, that should have sanded that and it'd be better. But yeah, man, so it looks like the start of an old chair leg or something. But yeah, I think for the sake of 20 quid, that was a good idea. And now I've got it, and it seems pretty sturdy, so it just needs a bit of refinement. But hey, free sawdust for the chickens that we're getting in a couple of weeks. Right, I'm going to tidy up now. Just thought I would show you my new creation, and I shall see you all in a bit.